Hello, and welcome to another episode of the 100th Replay, a show where I would normally talk about just one game, but today's episode is a little different. Instead of talking about just one board game in particular, I'm going to talk about an entire genre of board games. And that genre is solo board games. Don't need you. Anyways, it's more than just solitaire these days. I'm going to talk about 3 different games, each one being vastly different than the others. The first is a quick card game called Onyram. The second is a story-driven card game called Arkham Horror, the card game. And the third is Wingspan. Now, normally you'd play Wingspan with other people, but you know, you might have to play it solo these days. And surprisingly, this game is actually very fun as a solo game. This is Onyram, a small, solitaire-like card game with trippy drawings and, well, not much else. In this game, you will have a hand of 5 cards and play 1 card each turn. You are trying to earn keys to open the 8 doors that have been shuffled into the deck. There are strategies that will let you organize the upcoming cards or even search your deck for a specific door. Or if you're a fan of solitaire, you can just say f*** and hope the cards show up in the right order. The dangers in this game are the nightmare cards. These terrible, cat goblins force you to discard or suffer a penalty, like losing an open door. The current available version comes with 8 expansions, which are mods that add new rules and cards to the game. As you improve your ability to open doors, you can add 1 or multiple mods to change it up. Our second game is Arkham Horror, the card game. Not to be confused with Arkham Horror, the board game, which is 8 hours of torture. This one follows a campaign, meaning each time you play, you dive deeper into the story. For each scenario, there will be a detailed setup different from the previous session. The main reason to play this beast is for the deep narrative and decisions you make. It is Lovecraftian, so the odds are stacked against you. But that's not to say there is no gameplay. You have 3 actions each turn, which allow you to move around the map, fight monsters, draw cards, and gain resources. And sometimes, surviving matters more than winning a single game. Our last game is Wingspan. Normally, you'd play a game like this with 2 to 5 players, but sometimes there's a pandemic, so I'll capture birds by my self. Though I sometimes mock it, the solo variant of Wingspan is quite... Is that a bird feeder dice tower? Yes. Yes, it is. Anyways, it's quite good. Your turns in Wingspan play out much like the normal game. You will collect bird munchies, which are then spent to play birds into your aviary, and then use those birds to lay, surprisingly delicious looking eggs. Don't eat them, they are wood. The opponent is a randomly ordered series of actions that builds up its own collection of victory points and replicates the way another player would interact with the board. If you are curious about these or other board games in the genre, a simple Google search will reveal so many board games that you did not know existed. And since everyone was yelled at by the CDC to stay home, this list of games is going to grow.